Yo, 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 y'all. This is Val.
And your boy Z, we back. Well, shit, fuck that. I'm back after a
Right.
little bit of hiatus, man.
The man is back. It's
After we had a double bye week, something like that.
something like that, but you already know, man. I did the best I could to hold it down for the both of us. Obviously,
The
um,
the POP holding it down.
obviously, it was so much going on. Between you and your family being a little bit under the weather, and that's just getting caught up in just the busyness of November. I mean, we had the holiday,
Hmm.
we had just just life going on. So
Life and big time.
yeah, life be life in, and I know it November beat my ass between birthdays. I mean, I know you had a birthday in your household as well, but
Mm.
yeah, it was a lot. But we here now. We in the month of December, y'all. This is what we call go time in this part of football season. Because at this point in the season, you are what you are. The Bills are 6-6, and the reason why they're 6-6 is because they've been inconsistent all year. But this is the part where you come off a bye and you can really determine how January looks. If they continue to roll on offense, and if they can get the defense on board and the special teams, of course, I think we in for a good run. But I know you ain't been here in a few weeks, so I'll start you off with yeah, how you feeling coming out of the bye? Obviously I talked about the Philly loss last week, but how you feeling right now?
Bro, I don't even know at this point. It's like this team can beat anybody in the league and they can lose to anybody in the league. Like they're the highs and lows are so damn drastic with this team.
Right.
It 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 just depends what team comes out. I mean, I'll say this. If the offense plays the way it played against Philly, the way it played against the Jets, they're gonna be a hard team to beat.
Right.
Like it took more than just Philly to beat Buffalo. I mean, they had some lucky breaks. They had some, in my opinion, some terrible calls that went their way to help,
Definitely some.
and some bad coaching decisions that allowed Philly to really win that game. But again, it took Philly's best effort to knock this team off. So like I really feel like the Bills offense can, really take things and run with it, but it's just a matter of actually doing it and doing it consistently. And it's not gonna be easy. I mean, you're gonna have to go through two of the best teams in the league. Kansas City's offense isn't playing great or haven't been playing great all season, but at the end of the day, still Andy Reid, still Patrick Mahomes, still Travis Kelsey, and then
Travis
a bunch of other people,
Chandler Jones.
randoms. But again, with those three in the mix,
Anything is possible, baby.
yeah, 100%. And you got Dallas right after that. So I'll say this: if the Bills can get through this next stretch of three games and be 3-0, or even possibly 2-1, then I'll say watch out.
Well, you know what I'm gonna say. My quick assessment for real, is really just when. Let's start with Sunday. Obviously, that's the
100%.
if they can somehow go in the Arrowhead, which they've done before, going
Hmm.
this would actually be the third consecutive season if we being real. If they
Right.
can go in the Arrowhead and pull out a victory, which again we've seen them do it now twice in a row during the regular season. If they can do it for a third time and give Kansas City their second consecutive loss, it might be the third one because they lost to Green Bay. Who did they lose to before that? Was it
I think this will be their second in a row because they
okay? Because I know they
yeah, they
lost
had
to
a
Philly,
win before that.
right? And I know they lost to Philadelphia, but I'm trying to remember what again what week that was. But either way, um it would put Kansas City on the path that the Bills just came from, where it'd be like lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, lose one. And we need
Right.
we need that to be their momentum as we gain momentum. So for me personally, yes, I would love for us to be like, yeah, if we win the next three, it's on and popping, or if we win the next four, or if we win them all, we know what's going on. For me, win Sunday. If you win
Mhm.
Sunday, you prove to me that I can once again get to that 90% confident point that I've been at for most of the season. Because I ain't gonna kid you. The Bills have messed with some of my predictions.
Oh,
Some of my
yeah, they done mess your boy psyche all up.
Yeah, they done threw me off, but I will say the last 2 weeks did give me more confidence than the previous 4 weeks where
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, I'm looking at what they've done with Joe Brady. I'm looking at what they've done honestly just from an offensive standpoint is they've been able to put together back-to-back 30 plus games. And also they have our quarterback, our franchise guy looking like himself. And that was the biggest thing. I think most people were kind of like, run game has looked decent most of the year. Offensive line has looked decent most of the year. Diggs has been Diggs most of the year. Dave has been inconsistent. But the rookie Kincaid has looked good. Shakir has looked better each and every week. We were just waiting for Josh to look like Josh again. And for this offense to actually play with that enthusiasm, to play with that energy that we was used to seeing the previous 3 to 4 years. So when I look at what I've seen the last 2 weeks and I look at this coming Sunday, if the Bills are able to, I don't even care if they just scored 27 points. If they're able to give me another output where I see them looking efficient, I see them, playing with that aggressiveness, whether it is, getting 10 yards a pop or whether it is Kincaid breaking one for 20 yards and Shakir down the sideline and Diggs getting active, I'm going to feel good because if the
Hmm.
offense is coming and we pull off another win, I'm going into the home Dallas game being like, come on, Jerry. Jerry
Come on
Jones.
with it, Dak.
Yeah,
Come
we
on,
got a,
Dak.
we got we got a suite for you. You know what I mean? Tony
To,
Pollard and the crew, CD Lamb. CD
to
Lamb, I got
bring that ass to the cold.
bring
Bring that
that out.
ass outside.
Right. Yeah, get your Scullies, get your warm. Because we come in, we inviting all Cowboys fans, and I'm gonna be back. You know what I mean? Like I said, I won't be back, but I'll be at least back to the point where I'm like, come home, come see us. Because
Yeah,
any
I will say this: if they pull out a win against Kansas City, confidence is going to be right back through the roof
right,
immediately.
right.
Immediately.
I think that's where most fans are, and I think most fans should be that way because that would mark 3 consecutive weeks that we've gotten pretty much that mojo back. And like I said, I don't
Hmm.
know how the game gonna go. I mean, for all I know, we could win 17-14 and maybe
Yeah,
some
and that will be against. And the thing is, that's against three top-notch defenses too:
right.
Jets, Philly, and Kansas City. Low key, Kansas City's defense have been playing very, very good all year.
Listen, they've been playing top 10 football.
100%.
Give it to Chandler Jones, you give it to that defensive coordinator who's been doing this for a while now, but you give it to those guys up front, you give it to the secondary guys um tackling well. Like they're not known for really, locking up out there, but they're gonna tackle. If
Yeah,
nothing
they play
else,
together. Linebackers flying all over the field. Chris
linebackers getting to
Jones
the
is
ball.
a monster.
That's why I keep saying Chandler Jones. My fault, y'all. I done said Chandler Jones like 2 times. Chris Jones. Chris Jones, we know what he brings up the middle, but the thing I like about that, though, speaking of matchups, um, definitely like to see our interior O line versus him because now our interior O line is a lot better than what it's been the last 3 years.
Hmm.
Or it was Mitch Morris and just uh,
Whoever.
Saffold and you know what I mean, whoever on that.
Yeah.
This year, we got the rookie Osiris Torrance, who should get more mention for being on the offensive, all rookie team, and then you got McGovern on the other side. So it's like
Who's been balling?
like anytime you don't hear about a guy name all year, you know that doing a job.
I'm ready to extend McGovern's contract
Yeah,
already.
right now, yeah, right. He just got a contract. Like, give him
Yeah,
enough.
throw another 2 years on there.
Yeah, throw another 2 years on there.
Yeah,
Just
lock that in. Lock
yeah,
that in.
just like after 3 games, I'm already on the Rasul Douglas train. Like, yo, extend that.
Oh shit, throw another year on his too.
Throw
I'm good.
another year on his contract, give him an extra 8, 9, 10 mil. But nah, this offensive line versus their defensive line is gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, for me, it's really just like, yo, show up on Sunday, find a way to win. And when I say win, obviously a win is a win. So I don't even care if it's I mean, if it happens to be
I was
seven.
gonna say 6-0. Not
Yeah,
not
nah,
the not
nah,
the
nah.
not the Chargers Patriots score.
Nah, we got better. We got two better quarterbacks playing than that. But if it's an ugly win, it's an ugly win. But I really think they can, especially watching Green Bay get up and down the field on them.
Hmm.
I'm believing that Josh, James Cook, Kincaid, Diggs, Davis. I believe these guys will be able to find their spots and get in the end zone. And especially Josh. Now that Josh is now actively moving around more in the pocket and running the ball. And like I said, I don't need the guy running 8 times, but
But and the thing is, Josh Allen show up against Kansas City. He's unproven that game after game after game. And some of his best games are against Kansas City in Arrowhead. So
he like
I
playing.
know he gonna be on point.
I mean, I think that I saw a stat that said right now his passer rating in Arrowhead is better than Patrick Mahomes' passer rating there.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, just look at the games he's put up.
Right. So
Like
so so
and
yeah.
Dawson Knox been a KC killer for
Oh yeah.
years. Let my man show back up.
And Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis averaging. I know the average is kind of lopsided, but he averaging like three
Averaging 3 touchdowns a game.
three touchdowns a game in that month because he scored last year there. And he obviously scored 4 times in the playoffs. So like,
Yeah, Dawson Knox. Listen, if Dawson Knox get activated, that's a anytime touchdown parlay.
yeah, give me that.
Give me that.
Let's say
Sign me up.
right. So for me, like I said, yes, long picture. Bills definitely gotta at least at the very minimum win 4 out of their last 5, but
Oh yeah, at
I'm
minimum.
at minimum. So I'm
Mhm.
looking at like 425. I'm locked in. Kansas City. But before we obviously talk about that matchup, we do got a serious matter. We are two men who have women in our lives. We got mothers who
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot all about that. I said what you were saying. Where
are
you going?
nah,
That's
man. I
shit.
mean, I gotta be responsible, with my platform. But nah, man, we know that there are other things going on that we can't look over. The man Von Miller obviously was in the news last week for assaulting his pregnant girlfriend. I believe she has 2 of his kids, and I think they said she was maybe 6 to 8 weeks pregnant or 6 weeks pregnant at the time of this incident. Didn't read into the exact details of like how much happened. I just know the initial call was that she called the police and basically said she was assaulted, and there were reports, and then less than 48 hours later, she taking it back.
I don't even know if it was that long.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was either. It was such a busy week for me last week that like I just remember looking down on my phone and
I was
just
like,
like,
hey yo,
yeah, getting that report like, yeah, Shorty said, nah, never mind. And I'm just like, oh, so it's just never mind. Now that never happened. I called the police because I mean, I just wanted to play phone tag at night. All right,
right?
say less. And I think that happened on a Wednesday night. I think that happened the day before Thanksgiving. So I'll just give my initial quick take. I wish the Bills, in a way, would have been able to find a way to maybe um you know if you can't get away from it because obviously it's under investigation and you believe that maybe he had no wrongdoing. I get not wanting to cut the guy, but at the same time, I wish there was a way that they can get him away from the building and just say, "Hey, we're gonna try to wait this thing on out. We're not gonna release you, but we just ask right now that you just step away for a little bit. Obviously, it'd be for undisclosed reason, or et cetera, et cetera." That was a little bit of where I was leaning towards because initially when I heard that, I'm like, unfortunately, Vaughn, man, you done dug yourself a hole, man. You know we can't live with that. But after hearing how the NFL right now is like, yeah, we're gonna look into this, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, all right, it's almost been 5 to 7 days, and I'm like, how much deeper do you need to dive into a situation where y'all can get directly to the Dallas police, and y'all can get directly to what was stated and directly to the source, and we're getting into another week and we're still talking about we don't know what type of discipline or we don't know what is what. That leads me to believe there's a lot of bullshit behind it. And unfortunately, that makes it tough for everybody. It makes it tough on the organization. It makes it tough for even Vaughn and his livelihood because it's like, wow, whether you lied on me or not, you
Don't
still
matter.
you now I'm attached to that title of being an
Mhm.
abuser. I'm attached to that title, and you still have 2 of my kids who are very small. I think both his kids are like under the age of 3.
Yeah,
So
they
it's like
both they younger
a
for sure.
baby. So it's like you making it extremely tough on me to even do my job as a father. And that's if that's if it's false. If it's
Right.
true, then obviously you deserve whatever comes your way. And I wish if that is the case, the Bills again find a way to remove themselves from that situation. And it's easier said than done, but I don't know, sticky situation because like I said, anytime you hear about a story like this where it comes out and then a woman takes it back just a day after or 2 days after, that makes it tough on everybody involved when it comes to decision making because now
Mhm.
they're looking at your situation like, yeah, that's looking funny in the light. And this person gonna believe this person, that person gonna believe
Yep.
that. And I don't know. What's your thoughts, man?
It. I mean, from a Buffalo Bills standpoint, it's a lose lose, no matter what direction they take it.
Right,
Whether they are up front and just discipline off rip
right,
without knowing the full scope, which I mean, I believe they'll be in their full right to do so.
right,
But then internally, I think you'll have players looking at you sideways
right,
because, oh, you just gonna go and suspend them without knowing if that's actually true, without waiting for the details of the police report to actually come out, without doing this, without doing that. And if you sit here and wait and kind of let it play it out like they're doing now, it gives off the appearance like, well, you can do what you want. You
right.
know, we know what the report said, but we just gonna let it rock until we hear more. So like it just leads to there's no win situation for the Bills.
It's not.
Uh, and unfortunately, I don't even know if there is a right way to handle it.
Yeah. Nah, that's very
Like
true.
because if you ask me how I would handle it, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't even come up with an answer because it's like it's almost damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because what you don't want to do is just act in haste, but you also don't want to sit there and if this allegation is true, have him still here, have him still playing, have him still practicing. I mean, he's going to get paid regardless if he's not on the exempt list. So, I mean, paycheck aside, if this turns out to be true, they're going to be sitting with egg on their face because they, let him hang around the building, let him be around. It gives the appearance that, all we care about is football, all we care about is winning.
Right.
Do what you do, just don't get caught. Do what you do, just don't get a charge.
Yeah. It's
And it's tough for me too, because like I've even outside of the domestic aspect, I've seen just many instances of accusations that take place that may not even be true. And this is unrelated to this incident, and this is not even necessarily geared towards just domestics in general. I'm just talking about allegations that I've seen reports of that people say that's completely false, that's completely true, or completely inaccurate, and it ruins people's lives, ruins people's reputation, and it makes me just hesitant sometimes when I hear reports about such and such did this, such and such did that. All right, I kind of need to see stuff play out because I mean, I haven't seen people's livelihoods be destroyed and people's character be destroyed all to come out and that accusation was false.
yeah.
And but at the end of the day, something still needs to be happening. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't even know what the answer is. I don't know what the right way to handle this is. I mean, like somebody should step up and do something. But then at the end of the day, I think that'll be a players association issue too. If the Bills is up and suspending him without a charge, without the league putting him on the exempt list, without an actual there was an arrest, but with an actual conviction, I feel like that would set a bad precedent too. So it's like, I mean, it's just it's a terrible situation. And if it is true, he deserves whatever charge, whatever crime, whatever punishment comes his way, let alone cut. I
Sure.
don't care whatever
Yeah,
financial
yeah.
implications it is for the Bills. I don't
I
care what
think
dead cap it is. If it comes out that this is true, you cut them. You don't think twice. You eat whatever it is and charge it to the game.
right, and I think most sane people with a heart can agree on that part of it. It's just I don't want people to think it's just black and white. Um,
It's
it,
not.
because when you are the face of an organization like a Brandon Bean and a Sean McDermott, I know everybody wants him to come out and be Mr. Big Stick and just make decisions and make everybody feel warm and fuzzy. But like you said, there's so many angles to something like this that you have to be careful which way you move. Like I said, in a perfect world, I'm just removing them from the building until things clear out. You know what I mean? Guess what? You get your stuff straight at home and we'll work it out here. And when things work itself out, we gonna invite you back with open arms. We just want to give you the
Mhm.
time because we've had players step away for personal reasons. I remember there was a player, was it just last year, that stepped away for like half the season, and it was for personal reasons. I think the only difference with this is like Von, like, I ain't trying to step away if I don't need to. You know what I mean? So it's almost like in this situation, you would almost have to force the player to step away. So I think that's kind of like the difference. Is like you get players who voluntarily be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go home and handle some business, and if you guys want, I'll put myself on whatever list you need to put me on."
Yeah, I mean, at best, what you gonna do? Just make him inactive?
Right.
Because I mean, to go out full on suspension with with just what they have now, that's a slippery slope, in my opinion. It sets a precedent for the league.
Yeah. Here's my big
So
question, and we'll wrap this up because we are not detectives. We are not fucking we not the head of the domestic violence department. But
couple
my
niggas with a microphone.
right, dude, you know what I mean? But like I said, we got women in our lives, so it is important that we still make sure
Mhm.
we put our support out there for number one, women who have experienced physical, mental, emotional abuse in their life. I know Vaughn isn't the only one that's ever had to deal with a toxic situation. And in reverse, it may
Right,
be on her, and she may think this motherfucker might be one of the most horrible guys she's ever dated. He just happened to have 130 mil, and more.
right.
But now we've all been in, and I shouldn't say all, but most of us have experienced toxic relationships that involve some form of abuse, whether it was physical, emotional, or mental. Most people who I've talked to um have gone through some things like that. And the different scales of it though
Mhm.
is some people deal with it in the spotlight with a whole lot of money. And some people are just like some of us where we regular degglers and we just talk about it in the group chat or to our closest friend on a cell phone.
Right.
I had to just, I just had to put this nigga out and throw all his clothes on the lawn because this motherfucker was in my house with another. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It go like that. And if it was Michael B. Jordan, that could be on TMZ with his girl, and they'd be like, Michael B. Jordan, house is on fire because the girl found him at home. Like, so we live our lives a lot more privately because we don't have all of that they got. They probably dealt with what could have been a heated argument that night that could have led to some foul play on both sides, or it could have been all on one side. Like I said, we don't want to sit here and be like, Vaughn could never. It could have been all him. He could have snapped.
Yeah,
And
because like for me, I just try to think about it like if this was me and I'm fine, like how would I want this situation handled? Like if someone were to make an allegation on me,
Mhm.
and if I really feel like I'm innocent and what I'm accused of is not what took place, I would be like my life, my integrity, my name, my word is ruined
Mhm.
from a misunderstanding or miscommunication or something. And again, this is only saying if it's false. So like, I mean, I try to always lean on the line of let it play out.
Right,
But while it plays out, it that's what the focus needs to be on, not on football.
right.
Like I don't think he should be vilified yet,
Mhm.
but also think he shouldn't be playing football.
Right. That's
I
that's
say, listen, if it happened, listen, open up the floodgates, call him whatever you want, put every tag on him. But for the time being, I say, look, none of us know the ins and outs. None of us know the details of what really happened and not. So I just always like, listen, let it play out. But for the time being,
Yeah,
I mean, he wouldn't be touching the field.
that's what I'm saying.
I probably wouldn't suspend him,
Yeah, but he'll be
but
he might be just
it's gonna be
he
in
might be
school
rocking
suspension.
a jumpsuit, a coat.
Yeah, it's in school suspension. You at
Damn,
school, which you in the cafeteria all day.
damn near.
You
Yeah.
ain't
So
going to class.
right. So we basically kind of agree on that. There's no need to obviously, like I said, take a deep dive. This is not Law and Order. This is Inside the Zone with V and Z. So let's get back to the football. Obviously we talked about how big this matchup is. Do you have a favorite matchup going into this game, man?
Man, honestly, I think it's well, Travis Kelsey aside, because obviously, I mean that's Agent Zero. I mean that's what your attention needs to be on. But um, I need this is what I really want the secondary to step up. They don't have as of right now a receiver who's really taking any games over.
Mhm.
I don't believe they have top tier talent there, and their receivers are kind of letting them down. That's their weak spot of the offense right now. So I need that to continue. I don't need the secondary to be playing loose and free and giving them cushions.
Right,
I need y'all to get on these receivers, throw that timing off, and don't let them get loose. Don't let this be the game where the receivers show up.
right.
Continue to make them be the weak point. So I need this secondary to be on point. I want to say the matchup is O line versus D line, Bills O line, and more importantly, Chris Jones, and not let him destroy the game. But I really think the secondary needs to step up on these receivers. And whatever safety is going to be over the top of Kelsey and whatever linebacker is going to be in front, those two need to be in lockstep. And Kelsey can't destroy this game. Don't let Kelsey be the reason you lose. Anybody but him.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. I think that it's gonna be fun to see McDermott's first game at defensive coordinator um
Mhm.
against this offense as well, because we know what Leslie Frazier did. Leslie Frazier, I felt like called a good game. Shit, really two out of the last three. Two being in the regular season, they were able to hold them to about 20 points, I think, or less. And then obviously we know in the one playoff game it was a shootout, but yeah, I'm looking to see how he's going to schematically try to take Kelsey out of the picture, force him to use Rice, force him to use Sky Moore, force him to use, um, or just force him to run the ball.
Valdez, Scantling.
Yeah, MVS. But you got to watch out for a lot of different things though, because Andy Reid is
Mhm.
tricky. We know Andy
Yeah.
Reid is a hell of a coach. He hasn't,
Always got something.
yeah,
Always
there's
got
not.
something up the sleeve.
Yeah, he ain't been in the league this long just by mistake. So I'm looking for them to use Sky more in different ways. You're gonna see Kadarius Tony flying around. You're gonna see Pacheco in and out of the backfield. And that's
They run angry as hell. Like, yo, bro,
angry as hell.
relax.
So really low key, one of my small matchups of the game is really just the run defense versus their running backs and mainly Pacheco, because
Mhm.
if it's one thing they're gonna try to do, it's probably try to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. Like if Reed is smart, he gonna say, look, this is not the 2021 Chiefs offense.
Yeah, and they've tried to be more balanced this year, which I think is actually working to their detriment.
Right.
But
So so, so
they haven't been shy with running the ball at
right.
all.
So I think Andy Reid is gonna come into it like shit. He damn near gonna treat it like he playing Patrick Mahomes and say, listen, we're gonna
Mhm.
run the ball. We're gonna get in between those tackles. We're gonna force your linebackers to cover a little bit in space. And I think that's where they're gonna try to get him. It's like, hey, there's no Tremaine Edmonds. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer is not, 2020 Poyer and Hyde. So I think between the safeties and our D line, they're gonna have to play a top tier game. I believe Terrell Bernard is gonna do what he's been doing, 12, 13 tackles. He's gonna get you a couple tackles for loss. He might even force a fumble. So I believe Bernard is still gonna be all around the football. But I believe all of those other guys, especially in the middle, Greg Rousseau gonna have to step his game up and continue to. He's getting better every week. You know what I mean? That for a while in the middle of the season, he was kind of like, hampered by that leg injury, and you can kind of tell. But the last 2 weeks, I've seen Rousseau kind of look more like himself. So if Rousseau can keep coming strong on that edge, along with Leonard Floyd, along with AJ Epinesa, along with Shaq, I ain't even gonna mention Vaughn because who knows if he's playing or not. But you get that from the edge. You get the Ed Oliver to continue doing what he's doing, and then you can get some consistency from the middle of your field all the way back to the safeties. I'm not even worried about the corners because from what I heard, everybody cleared concussion protocol. So we'll have Dane Jackson, we'll have Bernard. I mean, not Bernard, Benford. We'll have Rasul Douglas. Might even have Kyer, but I don't think so. But we'll have the corner depth, Cam Lewis, whoever else you want to think of. So especially with Rasul Douglas back there, I'm confident in the secondary.
Mhm.
It's how is our front seven going to be able to apply that pressure on Mahomes just to get him off the spot? We know he can scamper out, but my whole thing is if he's gonna scamper out, just hit him. I don't care what the ref's gonna call. I'll take that back. The refs can piss me off,
Yeah, all right.
right? Because they will piss you off. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want
That
to see
call
that.
they had last week on that
Oh
roughing the
my
passer
gosh,
said,
man.
yo, he was still in the
He was
green.
still in the green. And that's why I said you gotta watch Pat, is because Pat is sneaky like that. He know he can get away with some calls. So when he going out of bounds, he'll fake try to sneak in like 2 extra yards. So
Yeah.
like this might be the
It,
game. You might want to tell Dorian Williams, like, you know what? We're just gonna put you on special teams because if you hit one of their players, they might throw 30 flags. So
mhm.
this is gonna be a game about discipline, though. Like I said, if you stop Pacheco and you force Pat in this matchup to throw 40, 50 times, that's actually playing in our hands. Because I don't believe he's going to be able to throw to Kelsey 15, 20 times because I believe McDermott gonna have a plan for Kelsey. Now, what that plan is, whether it's mixing a little Rasul Douglas on him or put a little Micah Hyde over the top and shadow him with Bernard, I believe they're gonna have some type of plan for Kelsey, knowing that their offense is now Kelsey. There will be some type of plan. But I really want them to get quick pressure.